everyone, welcome back to JoanneTechLover. I'm Joanne, and today I'm going to show off the Thermaltake Ttesports Poseidon Z gaming keyboard. Now this one features the Kailh blue switches, and you get a fully backlit keyboard with blue LEDs. Here's everything that comes in the box. We have the keyboard itself, which I'll cover in just a bit, but first let's take a look at the documentation. You get a warranty policy, and this is for 5 years, which is like unheard of for keyboards. Now, the key switches are rated for 50 million keystrokes, and you can be sure you can probably maximize that potential. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the quick start guide. You always get one, and this is pretty straightforward. This is just plug and play, nothing fancy schmancy, no software. So there it is. So here's a closer look at the keyboard. Let's take a look at the cabling first. So you get this rubberized cable, and you get 1.8 meters or 5.9 feet, and I believe this is USB 2.0. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about the dimensions. So it measures 440 millimeters along this edge, or 17.3 inches, 5.2 inches along this edge, or 133 millimeters, and 37 millimeters thick, or 1.4 inches. And it's a pretty standard weight. Well, actually, for a full-size keyboard, it's pretty light, weighing in at 995 grams, or 2.1 pounds. So let's go ahead and flip it over to the back to show you some of its capabilities. Here's a look at the back of the keyboard. You get some angled feet, which are nice depending on your comfort preference. I don't really need them because of my awesome wrist rest. And you do get some rubberized feet right here and here, 4 corners, so that it'll keep this in place. Actually, there's one down here too. That's pretty cool. So that when you're in an intense gaming session or just using your keyboard pretty hard, it'll stay in place. Alrighty, and what I really like is that they've included a cable channel, so you can clean up some of this cable, so it's not just like sticking out or something. And go ahead and all you have to do is just push it through the grooves, like so. And there you have it. And I really feel like most keyboards should have this. I mean, it's just like a small little feature, but it could be very helpful. Here's a closer look at the keyboard. The first thing I want to note is the design. You might notice that there isn't any bit of metal or plastic sticking out the top or the bottom, so it's definitely more of a compact look. All you get is just keyboard. I kind of like this. And it is a full size, so you get a numpad, and this is standard QWERTY layout. And a little bit more about this keyboard is that you get ABS keycaps and a laser etch so that you'll see the LED popping through. Alrighty, now here are your F keys, and you'll notice alternate functions. To access them, press function and the key. So F1 to F4, well, to F7 are your multimedia. So your play, pause, forward, etc. So there's mute volume and volume up and down, which is pretty handy for some. And your F11 and F12 will be your LED brightness adjust, so function F11, F12. You get 4 levels, and I'll show you once we plug this keyboard in, and of course off in case you don't want LEDs. Now over on the right side, you do get a dedicated Windows lock button, so just to press it to activate so you won't, accidentally hit the Windows lock when you're in-game. And in this little area here, we have some LED indicators for caps lock, scroll lock, and all that good stuff. And I believe that covers it for this keyboard. So let's take off one of the keycaps so we can take a look at what these Kailh blue switches look like. First, you'll need your trusty wire puller. Remember, I highly recommend these. Please don't use the plastic ones. These are much safer. Alrighty, now I'm going to take off the F key. So one moment. Alright, that was easy as pie. So you might think that looks just like a Cherry MX switch. Well, it's very similar. So with the Kailh blues, they're pretty much just like the MX blues in that they are very tactile. Well, not that tactile, but they're tactile and they're clicky. And since this key is per key illumination, there will be a little, LED bulb on top of each little switch. So in addition to sounding and feeling like the blues, you also get the same actuation force of 50 grams. And that's all I have to say about these. Some of you have been asking, and I'm like, sure, why not? So decided to take off the spacebar, and LED isn't on top, but it's right here. Anyway, so you get a single switch beneath the spacebar key and these little attachments here. So here's a look at the spacebar. Sorry, it's like this. And as you can see, this is a wire stabilizer. Take it out so you have a better idea. So to place it back correctly, make sure these 2 pieces of wire are hooked into these attachments right here. Otherwise, you're going to get this like wonky spacebar attachment. But anyway, this is really to help stabilize it as the name, to give you smoother movements all across the spacebar. This keyboard is currently cloaked in darkness because I wanted to show you the off mode, but let's go ahead and light them up. So I'm going to press the function and F12. So this is level 1. And you notice some flickering on the screen, but that's just the video. When I'm looking at it, it does not flicker. Alrighty, now let's go to level 2 of lighting. There we go. Level 3 and 4, which is the brightest. So I would say this is more of a, it's bright, but it's not like hurting my eyes in any way, which is great. It's more of like a medium subtle blue. Now before I go over the sound test of the Poseidon Z, I would like to go over one more thing on this. So for the Poseidon Z keyboard, what you get is a 6 to 8 key rollover over USB, but if you have a PS2 adapter, you can go ahead and get NKRO, which means press any number of keys and those keys should register. And some of you might like NKRO anyway because it's just faster for gaming, right? Alrighty, now placing this down, I have a CM Storm TK with me here. These are Cherry MX Blues. So we're gonna have a side-by-side comparison of the Kailh Blues and the MX Blues. We'll start with the Kailhs. And then the Cherries. So they sound and feel similar, but you'll notice with the Kailhs, they just have more of a clack to them. And I wonder why, if it's because of the construction of the board or the switches themselves. But anyway, there's the quick sound demo for you. It's time for pros and cons. So let's start off with what I like about this keyboard. Well, first of all, price point. And that's gonna lead into everything else. So for like $70, it's amazing for having full LED backlit, and you get, you know, LED adjust as well as multimedia keys, and you get a Windows lock button. That is amazing. As for cons though, I don't have many, but I do have a few, but for the price point, like, it's not a big deal. So for gaming keyboards, I do like software so I can program macros, and I would have liked to see a lighting profile and maybe, you know, a detachable cable so it's easier to take away when I'm traveling and all that good stuff. But overall, I would say this is definitely a recommend from me. If I didn't already have it, I'd probably get one. You know, you can never have too many keyboards, right? Especially me. Well, that concludes this video on the Thermaltake Ttesports Poseidon Z gaming keyboard featuring the Blue Kailhs switches, as well as it is illuminated all in blue, which is so awesome. Alrighty, well, if you liked what you saw and you want to see more, be sure to hit the subscribe button, like, and comment, because I love hearing what you have to say to me. Alrighty, also don't forget to follow me on social media, JoanneTechLover Facebook fan page, JoanneFoodLover Twitter, and twitch.tv/WhaleTune, where I game stream with Tim weekly. Our main game is WoW, but we play other games as well. Also, please don't forget to donate to help me expand this channel and feed this techie. And I have prints on sale, all autographed, 8.5 by 11 on Storenvy, so go ahead and check them out. I'll probably have a new set out for 4th of July, yay! Okay, well, that wraps it up, so love you much.